All right. So the very next thing we're going to do is the Hojo fight because we have a major skip coming up. So right away here on the high wind, it is time to menu. Don't wait until you're out of the high wind. Or like don't run and talk to the pilot right away. Menu right here, right now. And so all you have to do though, we're already set up for the Hojo fight. All we got to do is once again get Tifa back up on health. She should be at about 2,500 or more health, which means that she can have health up to 500 some, right? And then Cloud and Sid should be cured up to full. If you had to equip any summons, optionally you can unequip them. I would unequip them because I don't like double wide menus. And then this is extremely important, put your battle speed back to max. So it's a very simple menu. It's just heal the party within reason, which means don't uncritical Tifa. Battle speed max. That's the only requirement. Heal the party within reason, battle speed max. And then if you had to do summons, undo that if you wish. And so 5XX means 2 potions on Tifa. And then we will cure those 2. Oh, Cloud is much lower. Oh, I big guarded with Cloud twice. Wait, did I not ether him? No. Oh, okay. That's a little silly that I did that. So we'll have to pay attention to that. The fact that that Cloud is gonna not be able to big guard at the start of the next fight. But anyway, down here and battle speed back to fast, but keep it on wait. Then we talk to our pilot. And we zoom on over to the northern crater here. Cloud having no MP left is not a big deal here. As long as one of your characters can cast 1 big guard, which is 56 MP, you're going to be fine. So, anyway, once you enter this cutscene, though, you're locked into the Hojo fight. So here is the deal with this part, though. Oh yeah, you could also just go buy an ether if you needed. That's a good point as well. Anyway, welcome to the next major skip, the final major skip of the game. It is the easiest skip in the entire world to perform. How it works is that the next portion of the game is intended to be where you fly the high wind back to Midgar, you do all the stuff in the Midgar tunnels again, and then you climb the big tower, and at the top of the tower is Hojo, and you run into a trigger where you trigger a boss fight with Hojo once you get up there. Here's the funny thing though, that scene with Hojo at the top of the tower, that scene is used in this cutscene at one point. At one point in this cutscene, we cut to that field and Hojo has some dialogue. Once again, just like with that FMV skip earlier with the invisible Barret, you have an invisible Cloud on that scene with which just in the first frame or 2 frames or so, you are able to run into the boss trigger and trigger the Hojo fight right then and there, skipping the entire Return to Midgar sequence. And it is the easiest skip in the world to perform. All you have to do is be holding right and run when that scene loads in. And the visual cue for when that scene loads in is the second time that Reno does this motion, right? He does the motion once, then he talks to Heidegger, he does the motion again, and at this point, just hold right and run. And, yeah, and also down right and run works as well. Now, the important thing is, unlike the FMV skip, with the FMV skip, you know that it worked when the screen fades out because the skip is you leaving the room. This one's the opposite. This one is you do the skip when you load into this room. So, again, unlike FMV skip, don't release the buttons once you see that the screen is loaded out because that's when the skip is starting. So, when you're able to let go, boom, right there. When you see Tifa and Sid load in, that's when you're done. So again, just to show why this is a thing, if you don't if you don't do anything, the scene that is causing this skip to work is that it loads this right here. He just has a little bit of dialogue. I'll fast forward a little bit, and then we're out of there, right? So yeah, it's that scene. Just hold right and run. You see you see Sid and Tifa? Start mashing. There you go, you did it. That's all it is. And that skips the entire raid on Midgar. Okay, so now this part, one important thing about this part now is that this is a scene where list is advancing. RNG is moving on this screen because of the sparks over here, which has two consequences. The first consequence is that you need to mash well on this screen so that you don't miss your RNG window. Remember that RNG window that we're trying to hit? You don't want to blow past it because RNG is moving on this screen right now, so mash well. The other consequence is that because RNG is being used just by the sparks, we can tell by the pattern of the sparks whether our manipulation has worked so far. Basically, whether we did it right in City of the Ancients. Right there, did you see 3 sparks in a row? That means it worked. That means we're good. And you should see a second set of 3 sparks. Oh, there it is! So feel free to celebrate when you see those triple sparks, because that means that you've done it right. And now let's talk about the Hojo fight. The Hojo fight is pretty simple. You just death blow him with Tifa. All that really matters is the opener. As usual, as fights tend to be at this point, it's all about big guard and then weight tricking your death blows. But on this fight, we want to get the vaccine on Tifa. So what the vaccine does is it stops a character from being able to have their status changed. You know, even good statuses. So if a character is hasted, for example, and then you vaccine them, they cannot be unhasted. You know, if you vaccine a character who is normal status, it means they can't get any negative statuses, but you also can't haste them anymore because they're vaccinated. So it is very, very, very important that you big guard before you vaccine. But luckily we can just use it as our first weight trick, you know. We queue up big guard and death blow and then hold time on the vaccine and then use that as our weight trick for the second death blow. So yeah, all you got to really remember is the big guard death blow vaccine on Tifa opener, and you'll be just fine on this fight. There are a couple more nuances to the fight that we'll talk about, but that's really the important part. Another thing to be aware of is that when you do the skip to Hojo, it also bugs the music out for the rest of the game and makes it so that you just fight Hojo in silence here. So let's enjoy that. Anyway, remember Sid is the one that has to big guard here because Cloud doesn't have enough MP, so we just did big guard, death blow, holding time on the vaccine here. And the reason for the vaccine is that this boss does a lot of status ailments and we don't want him to hit Tifa with them. Because we need Tifa to knock his block off. Nice! If Tifa hits her first death blow, then that just gets rid of phase 1 right here. And so I just wait for Tifa's ATB to empty here. Hit circle. Hold it until her death blow is in. Hold time with Sid. And there we go. Alright, so here comes a confuse. So you gotta pay attention to who he does the moves on. Cloud has a ribbon right now, so if he tries to confuse Cloud, you're fine. Sid can get confused, though. Sid can also get slowed and that kind of thing. And basically, anything that happens here for the rest of the fight is more a consequence of how to weight trick rather than like having to change your strategy. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if Sid were to be basically what I'm saying is it's safer to hold time with Cloud. But if they get slowed, then there's another aspect to what happens. But anyway, we'll just put through this death blow here. Oop, I forgot to check on that. That he was gonna die, and so now I've defended, and we're just in animation wait frames right now. So I'm just gonna hold circle to. Actually, I'm not gonna hold circle. I'm gonna wait to see ATB come up. Ooh, okay, death blow. Hold time. All right, there's a counter attack. Okay, Tifa's hitting all of her death blows, and so this is like a super good fight. Oh, I think this should kill, though. Yep. All right. So that is a very basic Hojo fight. Let's see how another one goes here. I purposefully delayed my turboing a little bit there to get different RNG. Oh, this can happen also on this fight because of the sound. Because of the sound problem. Actually, I think this might be able to happen in regular gameplay also. If this fight starts right when one of those sound effects from the spark is occurring, this happens. So let's go ahead and let's mute this one. And just oh, hang on. I was gonna say let's mute this one and just get the Genova song playing, because that's the normal boss fight here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Here we go. So Vaccine Tifa. Get that death blow in. Very nice. Oh man, we're getting really good death blow luck here. So this is a fight that can definitely go on a lot longer if Tifa's not hitting her death blows. Alright, so I'm holding time with Cloud here because he attacked Sid. And yeah, see, Sid got put to sleep there. So that was just a little thing. I queued up a death blow with Tifa, and then I could have held time with either Sid or Cloud. Because I saw that he was attacking Sid, and this guy does a lot of status ailments, I defended with Sid, held time with Cloud. Because if I hadn't done that, Sid got put to sleep, time would have been released. And now, because Sid is sleeping, I can't do the defend method to get Tifa her next turn, because that would get Sid to be the next time holder, but he's sleeping. So at this point, just back out of the menu, triangle over, and queue up your next death blow. And this is exactly what I was talking about when I was saying, like, that there are little adjustments to the strategy. That's basically it. If a character gets put to sleep, if a character gets slowed, if a character gets confused, something like that, you can no longer hold time with them. And so at that point, the best strategy is probably to just start only weight tricking with a single character, just by triangling over to Tifa. She's plenty fast. It should be just fine. All right, so a consequence of the... so that's Hojo, by the way. That's Hojo. And a consequence of the skip also is that when this song properly plays, it doesn't properly stop. And so we get to hear this song for quite a while. All right, so now we get our last significant amount of cutscenes before the very end of the game.